Good evening, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal, Van Dweller, back with more classic Tetris Monthly Mega Masters. It is April 2025 Mega Masters month, unless it's March, but this time it's April. And we are doing Mega Masters, our second stream of the month. We've already got one result in our preliminary rounds, 15 more to go. Tonight, we are doing, what is it, pink? Are we doing pink tonight? We are doing pink tonight. So tonight, what we've got is the pink bracket. And which one is that on this list? It is the pink one. It's going to be match number 15 feeding into match number 31. These two matches will feed into match 37, which will be against our top 8 seed. What is he, 6? Oh my God, the numbers are so small. That'll feed into Allejo. So that is what we've got tonight. Just 2 matches. Pkric versus Allejo. Winner versus Dekk later in the month against Allejo. We've already got one result. Just one. And that is actually, who is it? Yeah, it's Dan V. Has made it into the round of 32. And just to give you a look at what that round of 32, this is going to be the thing that we're going to refer to right here as players from these lower rounds advance through to eventually get into this top 32. Okay, so this is our little reference document. And let's see, a little teeny tiny olive bracket. You can see Dan V is in there. Okay, that is what we've got tonight. I want to give you guys a sense of what is coming up schedule wise, just so you know what we're doing before what is coming up, what's worth tuning into. We got a lot of streams tomorrow and the next day. So tomorrow we have got 2 Mega Masters streams. It's going to be Violet. That's Maisie, Poyo, and O. That is 8 a.m. Texas time, so early morning for Van Dweller. And then 4 p.m. Central time, it's going to be the green little mini bracket. That's going to be Bland, Salted Sofa, and Tugi. And then right after that, with a little bit of a break, at 6 p.m. Central, 2300 UTC, it's the finals of March Das Masters, Dog, Fractal, AV Geek, and Tommy NTG. So that's going to be a pretty good one. And then Wednesday, we got, I don't know how this is all going to happen, but we got to really, we got Mint, Winter Mint, and then Jerpy versus Pixel Andy. We really need Pixel Andy on time for this one because an hour after the start time, we're doing our Nestris.org launch showcase. It says Ansel, but it's really, this is the one place I forgot to update, and Ansel now goes by Primer. So it's going to be Nestris.org. That is launching on Wednesday, April 9th. We'll take a tour of Nestris.org. We'll play. We'll watch some other matches. We'll take your questions. We'll go over what features there are, what you can do with it, and maybe plans for the future as well. That's going to be at 6 p.m. on Wednesday with me and Primer. And then after that, it's going to be another Mega Masters bracket. It says, winter twice. That is incorrect. So I'll have to figure that out. I didn't update something properly. But whatever it is, it's red. So yeah, I'll have to update that. Listen, I made a mistake on the internet. I really apologize for my behavior. There's no excuse for what I have done, if you can find it. Okay, yeah. Red is going to be Nolan, Rhubarb, and Id Kirby. That is who is playing and that. So I'll update that. And then we'll do that. But that isn't even the last one that night on Wednesday, because there's one after that. It's the Sky bracket at 9 p.m. These schedule is really putting me through the ringer here on Wednesday. 4 different streams: Mint, Nestris.org launch, Red, and then Sky bracket. So we just gotta power through it. And please, if you're a player, please be timely. We got a lot to do. Okay, so that is what is coming up Let's take a look at our rules so you know what you're doing. This is a 64-player single elimination flat bracket tournament with a third-place match based on the 1989 version of Tetris, released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play an emulator or consoles as long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified. Players can use any controllers as long as no big buttons or turbo functions used. Players should not receive any real-time in-game advice, and they should not pause unless the commentator tells them to. Level 18 starts all the way through. Level 39 super kill screen. Players make sure that is turned on. We're using same piece sets re-rolled in between each game of the match. Points over the traditional max out do count, and best of 5 throughout. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share at a prize pool, which currently stands at $295.94. We had some more people do contribution codes. We also had some more direct contributions, notably from Agathis. Agathis contributed $200 to that prize pool. So thank you so much, Agathis. We do have a gauntlet here of incentive levels, and we will pay out more players as we, or if and as we reach some of these milestones. Never expected, but certainly always appreciated, and a great way to get hype around the scene, to reward these players for their play all year long, to incentivize them to keep playing, keep improving, to keep coming back month after month. The prize pool has grown to slightly uncomfortable levels, but here it is. I mean, last year was $26,700. That enabled us to pay first place $10,000, which is crazy. Summer B, live from having a real good time, gifted a long bar shirt to the chat. So exclamation point join, guys. If you want to contribute to the prize pool, you can do so by using the Matcherino command on Twitch and YouTube while you're joining. Use the Matcherino command as well. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, that should bring up 2 links. The first one is the one for Mega Masters. The second one is the one for Dash Masters, which is still open, and I think it's still short of its incentive. If you're watching after the fact, go to ctm.gg/Matcherino. So, I have no idea how high we're going to get in these incentives this year. I mean, I'm amazed that we even get to, our top 8 incentive every single month. And, you guys are just so generous, and it's been amazing. Okay. If you want to support the channel, a lot of different ways to do that. If you're on YouTube, you can use super chats and stickers and channel memberships. You can gift a channel membership as well. If you're on Twitch, you've got bits, you've got subscriptions, you've got what else you got? You can gift a subscription. You got Amazon Prime, Twitch Gaming Prime gift subs, or whatever they are, and you can use that as well. If you want to support the channel, you can use Patreon. Go to patreon.com/monthlytetris to provide us a pledge of monthly or annual ongoing support. This is pretty important for the channel. It allows us to look forward into the future and say, yes, we have a good idea of what's coming in. That means we can keep going. We can, maybe not put open to work on our LinkedIn profile for another month or two, So, yeah, if you like that we're, running basically 64 matches a month, right? 2 big high-level tournaments a month. Well, it's the Patreon and your other support that allows us to do that, to stream at all hours of the day. I don't have to wait till I come home from work and, we can't schedule the people in Southeast Asia because everybody's working during that. No, I can stream anytime, any match, anytime. And this is what allows us to do it. If you like that, then consider supporting us on Patreon. Thanks to our sticker and double sticker club level members, community level members, and Mega Masters supporters: Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, K9, Watching Tetris, Taknerus, Masters, Corporal 381, and Shall Be Satisfied, Bracket Sponsor Level, Troy Dan, KMM, Rogue Potato, Catkit, and Mick Monkey. So, that is enough for now. I'm just going to flop on over to our bracket scene and hope the players are there. And they are there. They are totally there. Oh, there's other different ways you can support us too. If you don't like Patreon, you can use the support command in chat, and that'll bring up links to all kinds of ways to support us, direct payments and whatever. If you want to do it that way, that is the way to do it as well. And thank you again, Summer B, live from having a real good time, gifting a Long Bar shirt. And the winner was Kafka's Cat. So Kafka's Cat, make sure you click on that link to redeem it. It's a whole automated process. Neither I nor Summer V will be sending you something. The store will do that, so you got to go to redeem to do it. So GG's and congrats to Kafka's Cat. Okay, players, if you, I guess you're doing some warm-ups here, but so now I just have this fire emoji just sitting there. I don't know if I'm ever going to use that, but there it is. I guess if someone pulls the fire alarm again. All right, let's get these players their pieces. 7704B5. 77, the year I was born. 04, the year the Red Sox won the World Series the first time during my lifetime. And B5 is my favorite, my favorite seat on an airplane. All right, I'm just going to refresh these streams just before we start because they've been running a bit and sometimes they get out of sync a bit. So I'm just going to refresh them real quick. Okay, we should be lined up okay. All right, looks like both players are ready. Pkric and Allejo, let us get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, we are underway on the left side. It is Pkric qualified into seed number 38 with a 1.17 million average of his best 3 games played over a 90-minute qualifying period. In the United States with a PB of 1.5 million. He's heavily involved in CTL. He's made Masters event 2 prior times, last time in 2023. And he's played in every single Mega Masters. He was top 4 in silver of 2022 CTWC. And actually went out against the Asian, who was the winner that year of silver and who hilariously was interviewed by his local news as the classic Tetris champion when it was Eric that year. Was also top 8 in silver. No, it was not top 8. Was top 8 in silver in 2020, the online year. Also played in the gold bracket in 2021. So that is Pkric. 138 for Pkric, 138 for Allejo. Allejo gets a Tetris. And on the right side, it is Allejo, qualified in with a 1.065 million into seed number 59 from Argentina. Allegedly a 1.4. So that's 1.4 in the bot. It was like 1.1 or 2 on the leaderboard. I'm going with the 1.4. Allejo goes way back, by the way. Did you know Allejo played in the second ever CTM that I did? That was November 2018. Allejo was in that one. So it's probably the longest legacy of any of the players in Mega Masters this year. Went out versus Mohammed. So there is a name, a blast from the past. He won a community tournament back in July of 2021. He also played in Mega Masters in 2023 and played in the CTWC silver bracket in the second online year in 2021. Peak 278, 277 for Allejo. Both players rollers. I can assure you that Allejo was not rolling back in November of 2018. Although, how cool would it be if he were? There's a Tetris for Alejo, 323, 304 for Peak. By the way, I want to thank some of the subs that have come in since the beginning of the broadcast. Amit Pro says, go Peak. Prime sub, thank you so much. Overthief with the tier 1 sub 15 minutes ago says, hey, y'all, I'll probably end up dropping by once I finish doing stats for the game between Dan and Somalian. Okay. Thank you so much, Overthief. Doc Pie with the prime resub says, Deckaroni Guafi with the prime sub as well, and the memes in the message. So I don't know what that meme really means, so I'm not going to read it. 376 for Allejo, 355 for Peak. Oh, it looks like we had another giveaway. Did we have another giveaway? No. Okay, yeah. Kafka's Cat redeemed the giveaway. So excellent. Thanks again, Summer Being. Congrats, Kafka's Cat. If you want to gift merchandise to the chat, you can go to our store at ctm.wtf. It knows when we're live on this channel, and it puts a gift this to Twitch button next to all the items, and you can gift it to Twitch, and it'll trigger an automated giveaway, which has been super fun. 408 for Allejo, 449 for Peak. Of course, they are in the pink bracket, 16 different colored brackets in Mega Masters to help us keep track of everything, help the players know where in the bracket they land. I have no idea how Pumpy picked all these colors or which one or why there's 7 different green ones, but they are canon, and who am I to, contradict canon? 454 for Allejo, 497 for Peak. Peak's going to get a double here. Needs to bring this down. He's still ahead by about 42,000 points. Allejo's going to get a Tetris, though. And now that the lines are a little bit closer, they're about 1 Tetris apart. Yeah, there's aquamarine, there's mint, there's green, there's olive, there's mustard, which is like greenish brown. Chabjuja, aka Sunny, says in chat, Vandy, should I practice for my match on Thursday? I mean, last year we paid all 64 players, so every subsequent round that you can make it to might be a pay jump. So I would recommend it. 574 for Allejo, 555 for Peak. And Peak is into 19 at 579. Okay, we got a little bit of a freeze there. That's fine. We're okay. 623 for Allejo, 630 for Peak. Oh, kind of the emergency 10 taps or something going on for Allejo. All right, there's a dirty triple for Peak. That's going to help him bring this stack down. There's a great long bar there for column 4 and a Lombard dependency, which was keeping his stack, his right well covered. So he's going to uncover that. 698 for him, 684 for Allejo. Good flat stack here for Peak. Gets a Tetris 753. There's one Allejo. Peak ahead by 5 lines and 13,000 points. So it is pretty darn close. Tetris is 4 each. Remember, we start on 18 where there's 130 lines of that. Then 100 lines of level 19 speed at 230 lines. It switches into level 29 speed for 100 more lines. We have a level 39 line cap or speed increase is being used for this tournament. Tetris for Peak, 818. There's a triple, and he's going to build 1 row off the bottom and get a very quick Tetris there, 856. So Peak really not slowing down too much. Just a couple of burns to get this stack back down to row 1. All right, Allejo here got kind of a dirty stack. All right, Pkric would love a long bar very quickly here, but ends up covering the well. Uncovers again and looking for a well-timed bar. Has a triple there that he takes, and that burns away. And he's just trying to keep that uncovered, waiting for a timely bar, and covers again as the bar comes. There is a long bar with an uncovered well for Pkric. 9:15 for him, 9:02 for Allejo. So both players kind of slowing down around the same time. Neither can really get too much separation before we get to 29. All right, kind of a little Z-spire in the middle of the stack there for Pkric. Z-spin. All right, there is a Tetris from Pkric, 966, 987 for Allejo. There's a Tetris for Pkric. He's got the max out. And another Tetris into 29 for Pkric, A36. There's a Tetris for Allejo. Maybe trying to build for one last Tetris before he hits 29. And yes, he's going to stack for it. The bar comes and he Tetrises into 29 at A63. Let's see what he's got here on 29. And diving board bar here for Pkric at A53, and he's going to top out. Both players topping out at the same exact time. Allejo was ahead by about 14,000. Allejo will survive and take game number 1. So GG's, guys. Great game here in game number 1. And by the way, just to let you know, Allejo's on a separate camera than is on his stream. So if you see his camera going, but his pieces freeze a little bit, it doesn't mean his capture card is messed up. So if you're worried about that, you go, oh, his capture. It's not that. They can freeze at different times. All right, new pieces players. 565965. Oh, and I don't know who gifts the who gifted that. I guess it was not Summer B. I guess it was just some meme name. So if somebody puts someone's screen name in there, I'm not even going to trust it anymore. I'm just going to thank the anonymous person who did it, and you'll just have to understand that it's directed at you. Okay, both players have the seed in. Now just waiting for the ready from both. LVCCX just super chatted I don't know what ARS 100 is, but thank you so much for, is that Argentine money? I don't know how much that's worth, but thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, looks like Pkric and Allejo are ready. Let's go ahead and get him started in game number 2 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. I don't know what is that what ARS is in currency? I don't know what that is. But thank you very much. Really appreciate that. That's the Argentine peso. I wish I could get real Argentine pesos. Like, I want the actual physical money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to cash it in and get them. Eureka rotation system? Could be. Well, thank you again very much. Tetris for Pkric, 91,000, 71,000 for Allejo, as these two get game number 2 underway. far as I can tell, these folks have met only one time in ranked play, and that was in the CT Latam Copados tournament back in 2022. Are those still going on, by the way? Those, you know, they had all those different levels of Latam tournaments. Is that still going on? I have no idea. 237 for Pkric, 194 for Allejo. All right, 241 Allejo, 260 for Pkric. You know, it's so funny, you know, it just reminds me of, you know, Allejo starting off in, you know, CTM November 2018, my second ever tournament that I ran under Classic Tetris Monthly. And, you know, just how far back some of these folks go. And then when rolling hit, I thought rolling would be something like maybe 5 people would be able to do. And it kind of made me feel good to know, like, yeah, I can't do it, but nobody else is going to be able to roll. This is something like, you know, Cheese, who's a musician, is going to be able to do. Maybe a couple other people. But now literally everybody can do it. So it's like one more thing at Tetris that I'm bad at. Like, I needed one more thing that I couldn't do. So now everybody's doing it. Thank you so much to Jose B for the 200 ARS. I don't know the Argentine peso. Somebody has to invent one more playstyle just so there's like one more thing I can't do. All right, our camera is gone. That's fine. Players, go ahead and keep playing. And we'll refresh it when we get back to game 3. But it all counts, don't worry. 460 for Allejo, 478 for Pkric. $1 is a little over 1,000 Argentine pesos. All right. Well, good. I am happy for anything anyone contributes, so. Oh no, Allejo in a little bit of a jam here up near the top of the board. He is a roller. Let's see what he's got in him. Oh no, that is going to be a top out for Allejo at 468, and Pkric is going to take game number 2. Okay. Well, don't worry too much about your camera, Allejo. Do not worry about it. You lost focus. Oh, sure. Kappa, of course. But yeah, don't worry about that. If it goes out, we will manage. Just don't get all the way to the finals, please, because we don't want a really hacked finals. So please make sure you make sure you lose a match somewhere before the top 8. Appreciate that. Okay. Just kidding. All right. Thanks, Lautaro Toledo, for the 100 ARs. All right. Let's get these players some more pieces. Why does Allejo kind of look like Geo? I don't know. I don't want to float any theories out there. Probably there's a few folks from Argentina watching right now. But somebody told me that, well, no. I'm not gonna say it. All right. Somebody told me something. All right. Pieces are out there. All right, we're getting all these contribution of Argentine pesos. Thanks again, LVCCX. Appreciate it. All right, do we get the seed out there? All right, 85 E7 E0. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's get them started. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, starting off with double long bars. Look out, Gerald, if you're watching. This is one of the seeds you were talking about the other day on your stream. I will not go into details about what Gerald was talking about, but there is one for you, Gerald. All right, 46,000 for Peak, 23,000 for Allejo as we start game number 3. We got 7 different. All right, Jose B with more Argentine. Is it Argentine? Argentine. I imagine it's Argentine pesos. Thanks again. Argentinian? I don't think it's Argentine. Is it Argentinian? You know what? How am I supposed to keep all this straight? What is there, like 4,000 countries? My God. All right, it's Argentinian. Yours. All right, a true Argentinian is saying Argentinian. Okay. All right, little flat setup there for Alejo. Gonna keep that well open. Long bar gets open for him. 209, 187 for Peak. Argentic. Oh, it could be Argentic. That sounds like a pharmaceutical. You know, don't take Argentic if you're pregnant or could become pregnant. Argentic may cause nausea, vomiting. Anyway, it could also be a I don't know, just a random tech company. 217 from Allejo, 202 from Peak. All right, Peak, Allejo getting up high here on the board. Both players are. And a clutch S-spin for Allejo to open up that right side for the bar. And Peak also got that bar down. I think if Allejo misses that S-spin, then it's wraps, bro. 252 for Allejo, 255 for Peak. All right, Dirty Tetris, 1 row off the bottom for Allejo. Both players very active in the LATAM Tetris tournament scene. And I am dying to know if anybody in the chat knows what the status of all those tournaments are. I mean, there were a lot of tournaments. They had like a top level one. They had, kind of an equivalent of a challengers and a community circuit or whatever. All right, Allejo's going to chuck a long bar down into column 3 to help bring this stack back down. And this extended low dig here from Allejo. This is allowing Peak to take a lead. He's up by about 70,000 points now. I guess I do have the Chicago. Would it be in one of these style manuals? I do have various writing style manuals. 327 Allejo, 389 for Pkric. I do have the Chicago Manual of Style right here. Is that in there? $333 for Allejo, $416 for Pkric. And that's going to be a top out for Allejo at $336. And Pkric is good in game number 3. Goes up 2-1. All right, Allejo, do you have to do anything to like refresh your camera or anything like that? Or just jiggle the mouse a little bit to keep it active? I don't know. All right. Let's go ahead and get these new players some new pieces. 5F6954. All right, terms for nationality. 8.39. All right, I'm looking it up. New pieces are here. 5F6954. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's make sure they're on seed. I don't trust them. 5F6. Okay, they are. Let's go. Game number 4. Pkric up 2-1 over Allejo. Allejo needs to win to stay in the tournament. Oh, Super Mark loves that seed, huh? Oh, my goodness. All right, Allejo with a deep blue room, by the way. I'm a big fan of blue rooms. If you got a really deep blue room, I like it. All right, 31,000 for Pkric, 49,000 for Allejo. All right, Allejo going to take a triple down here, looking for something to tuck over there. Finally finds something. Gets a long bar down for Tetris. 80,000 for Allejo. Pkric in low cleanup mode. By the way, if I missed any super chats or anything like that, I apologize, but I thank you for all those. It's hard to keep up. There's so many. There's so many of these pesos coming in. All right, 151 for Allejo, 77,000 for Pkric in the early goings here in game number 4 in Mega Masters. The winner of this match will play an immediate match afterward against Dekk, the number 27 seed. All right, I'm mesmerized by this. It's happening on Pkric's board. You know, it's in one of those digs where every time you clear one gap away or one hole away, you cover the piece you're using to clear it away covers another gap. 138 for Pkric. 251 for Allejo, who's out to a good lead. You're going to use that long bar to fill in that long bar hole in column 2. And finally, Pkric is out of his little burning sequence and gets a Tetris. And another one. 185 for Pkric. 277 for Allejo. 3 lines apart. Looks like we've had some more contributions to the prize pool. We got one from Arbaro, who says, join Tetris for the non-pros at tnp.tetris.lol. Thank you, Arbaro. By the way, you got 7 contribution codes left over on Matt Chirino. There's a Tetris Allejo 368, 256 for Pkric. Seven codes to go. Yep, Dekk got a 1-round bye. There's a new giveaway. Kafka's cat. Is that the real Kafka's cat? We don't know, but Kafka's cat has gifted one ESWT BBWC 2021 water bottle to the chat. So use the join command to get in on that. And thank you to Kafka's cat. 448 for Allejo, 374 for Pkric. Tetris Pkric. All right, there's one more claim code done. 6 more to go, guys. Let's get them done this stream. All right, Tetris for Allejo. Oh, kind of maybe an overshift for that T. So he's got a very uncozy Vitz there. Let's see what he's going to do to burn that away. And Pkric is on level 20 now and at 501. Allejo's at 501. And now just into 19 pretty awkwardly, but with rolling, you can deal with pieces of this height. I would have no chance. I'd be gone by now. All right, but Allejo bringing this down in a great tee to uncover. It gets 1 bar in there, needs 1 more bar. And there is the bar for the Tetris. That's going to bring the stack back down for Allejo. Of course, you're always happy to get a Tetris, but sometimes even happier just to take some pressure off the stack. He's not out of the woods yet, though. 545 for him. Pkric at 583. There's a long bar to uncover the column 10 well for Pkric. And getting some ill-timed bars here with a covered well. Just waiting it out. Uncovers a skim and a Tetris for Pkric. 621. Been waiting to say that. Oh, thank God. All right, Allejo still kind of digging here. Not really, stack not going up or down too much. And now it's starting to go up. And now it's starting to go back down. So he's still fighting. All right, the camera is faster. The camera is faster than the game board, and that's going to be a top out for Allejo. And Pkric will be moving on with a 3-1 victory. GG's Pkric. You will be moving on. Gilded Lizard, you won the ESWT BBWC 2021 bottle. Congratulations, and thanks again to Kafka's Cat. GG's all around. Allejo, you did great. I didn't even know you were a roller, man. So, I mean, that is amazing. And Allejo, I mean, God, this is what, 7 years? It's like almost 7 years since I streamed Allejo for the first time back in November 2018. I don't know. I didn't know what the heck I was doing back then. And I still don't. So anyway, GG's Allejo. Hope to see you again. Okay. We're going to go ahead and set up our next match. We're going to run a couple of ads here, and we'll return with Pkric versus Dekk. Pkric Dekk. Hey, what's up, Chen? Is Dekk, do you have an alt or something? I'm not seeing you streaming. Dekk, are you here? Do I have the right bracket? Is this the right bracket? Oh, that is it? Okay, got it. I didn't know that. All right. Well, now I do. Let me just report this and we'll get that going here. I think there's a baseline assumption that, you know, everybody knows everyone's comp alt, and I don't know that. All right. There we are. Okay, good. Gotcha. All right, just gotta update a couple things and we will be ready to go. Score. And then the placards. All right, what are you? You're here, you're here. All right, I think we are just about there, and then I'll just cams once the players are situated. Okay, good. Now I know where players are sitting. I don't know what that says, but congratulations. Good luck, Pkric. All right, it says good luck, Pkric. Looks like we've had another contribution to the prize pool from K Schnur. Thank you, K, $5. And I don't know, is that broccoli? I think that's broccoli. So, K Schnur, broccoli Stan, I guess. Okay, 3 codes left, folks. I'm going to go ahead and give you folks some pieces. We'll get it done. We're getting there, Jay. Listen, Jay. Listen, Jay. It's a different Jay, though. It's a broccoli. It's a German thing. That's a German broccoli is German thing? I had no idea. What, just showing broccoli to people is a German meme? Oh, I guess you can't claim the code if you join the match arena? Oh, that's crazy. Well, don't... It's like grayed out. Oh, that's weird. Oh, all right. All right, we're just getting a little bit of an issue here with one of the streams, so we're waiting for that to come back. All right, there we go. It's back. It's not back. All right, Peak, you're having some stream issues, I think. Yep, no worries. Folks, while we are here, good time to mention CTWC Mexico 2025. It's in 19 days, so get yourself down to Mexico City, that is, at the Mono Exo Game Center, April 26th through the 27th. That is a Saturday and a Sunday. There are qualifiers on Saturday, top 12 tournament on Sunday. Our good friend Poyo, who's actually playing tomorrow, heavily involved in that. So get over there, down Mexico way. All right, looks like Peak is now streaming and good. I think. Well, maybe not. We're having some problems. The prize pool is off by 4 cents. Oh, rip, Doc Pie. Sorry. I don't know if Peak is good or not or what. Internet bugging out. Okay. That's fine. We can wait it out. It's not letting you start your stream? Do you need to, like, refresh your stream key, get a new stream key or something, or log in and log out of OBS? Is it like the internet, or it's like other things coming up? Oh, now he's moving. Okay, now I think we're Are we streaming? I think we're streaming. I see you streaming. Now I see you not streaming. Okay. Don't make me play Tetris on stream. How has my day been? Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much toward the end of my work day, so I've been working all day doing graphics and updates and filling out my CTM fact sheets. And so I don't know. I've already put in a good 5-6 hours of CTM work today. Believe it or not, this stream takes work to do, you know, whatever. But so yeah, it's a good way to finish out because this is like the most fun part of CTM is actually doing the broadcast. So I still have a couple of things to do after this, but other than that, good day. You know, I have the best job in the world, so every day is a great day. All right, I don't know if and when Peak will be back here. Oh, thanks, Steph. Appreciate it. You like the new graphics in the slides? Oh, all right. Which one in particular? Or which ones? Oh, I like it too. Oh, the schedule page and the Patreon. Oh, yeah, all that stuff. And the Premiere poll. We can now look at the Premiere poll. If you guys want to see the Premiere poll, we can look at that. Do I have this right? Only 2 of the top 25 are not playing this month in Mega Masters. You've got your all-time leaders. That one's updated. Alex D all alone in 4th place. I was trying to get more. It's very important to me that people be able to think and talk about this stuff the way they think and talk about like sports, so they know all the records, they know who's ranked above who, they know the history, instead of just like 2 random people out of context or playing Tetris. Why should I care? I think it helps to know a little more about who they are, what they've done, where they stand in history, and if we have any chance at all of, you know, somebody outside of our tiny little fiefdom caring about this stuff, there's got to be a history to it. All right, Peak is here. Okay, yeah, no worries. I will refresh you. But you owe us, Peak, you owe us 1 smile during this broadcast for putting up with this. Normally, it's you giving us the glare of death. But this time, we get the glare of death at you this time. All right. We're all glaring deathly at Peak. All right. We'll keep the seeds. I don't think these people are doing anything bad. All right. Looks like both players are ready. Seed checker. 453 BAB. 453 BAB. If you call Peak handsome or giggle monster, oh my God, I'm not going to call a person that. All right, looks like both players are ready. They're on seed, and yeah, we are more than ready. So let us go ahead and get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And after all that, I had the round wrong. I had all that time to update the round number, and I did not. So it is round 2 of Classic Tetris Monthly Mega Masters. Peak defeated Allejo to get here into round 2, and Dekk got here in virtue of a 1-round bye for finishing in the top 32. Everybody who finished in the top 32 in qualifying gets to skip at least 1 round. If you're 16 and above, you get to skip 2 rounds. Peak, though, had to fight his way through round number 1. On the left side, it is Dekk, seed number 27 from the USA, qualified into that seed 27 with a 1.28 million. That was an average of her best 3 games over the course of a 90-minute qualifying period. Dekk's got a PB of 2.01 million. And she's a future circuit and hopeful circuit winner, both of those in 2023. And she also played last year in Mega Masters 2024. Also played in CTWC 2024 as well. Looking to make a run here in Mega Masters. And stacks are a little bit high for these players. And this is a real drought. And Pkric is in a little bit of a pickle. There's the bar. He gets it over. That's going to bring it down. Every piece crucial here for Pkric. He's looking to downstack this here. That L does not get all... I mean, that J doesn't get all the way to the left. And that is going to be a top out for Pkric. And Dekk is good in game number 1. Is the seeds random, or did you pick good seeds? No, they're totally random. Thanks, Supermark. Appreciate that. Okay, new pieces for these players. Yeah, it did not look good, but that is part of Tetris, is you don't get to always get the best pieces, so you've got to deal with that. New pieces are here. BF6C5E, BF6C5E. Spicy chat today, Mari. All right, you get him. You and Mr. Burrow, get him. Zap him. No tolerance. All right, looks like both players are ready. BF6C5E, both players good. Both players about to start playing Tetris in game number 2. 3, 2, 1, Tetris on that right side. It is Pkric. This is Pkric Tetris. Qualified into seed number 38. Yeah, you may not like it, but this is what Pkric Tetris looks like. 1.17 average of 3 for Pkric in the 90-minute qualifier in the USA as a PB of 1.50. Is one of the main organizers of Classic Tetris League. I think Kingsman takes all of the credit and Pkric does all the work. That's what I understand. He's been in the Masters event 2 times prior, and I believe last time was in 2023. He's played in every single Mega Masters. He was in top 4 in silver of 2022, top 8 in 2020. That was the online year, and the first year they did multi-tiers of metallic brackets in CTWC. Also played in the gold bracket in 2021 CTWC, the second out of 2 online years. And thankfully, no more online years for CTWC. Just let CTM have online. You can do all the live stuff you want. Just let CTM have online. Okay. 162 for Pkric, 60,000 for Dekk. And Pkric going to fill in that long bar dependency in column 2. It was pretty high up on the board, so it's a good choice. And now he's going to open up that right side. Has a good board and a good Tetris with that good long bar. 189 there for Pkric, 107 for Dekk. What's up, Skip Logic, Raybert, Gilded Lizard? You're all here. Kafka's Cat, Jay in the Window, Liliana, Arbaro, Mustache Cannon, Amit. All the stars are here. Invictus Rage is here. Steph Meowie, Fancy Meme. If you want me to say your name in chat, then chat right now. Varchild, Dias Allure, welcome. And thanks for hanging out. Over on YouTube, we got Josh, we got Stefan, Doc Pie, Mari, Mr. Barrow, Haichu, Malatos, Japanoise, Luciano, Betamax. Thanks for hanging out. Watching Mega Masters. We got 64 total matches. That's 63 regular ones. Then a third place match this month. 230 for Dekk, 314 for Pkric. Ace Hardcastle is here. IR Daxter, also here. Vincent Longo, Stephen B, Jaws. You're all here. Welcome. See, level 18, a good time to read out people's names. Yeah, you got to fill a space with something. Yeah, people like to hear their names. All right, long bar gets over for Pkric. There's a Tetris 386, 301 for Dekk. Oh, Kingsman is here. Oh, my word. All right, there's a skimming a Tetris for Dekk 328. There's a Tetris for Pkric 466, ahead by over 100,000 points, but also ahead right now by like 16 lines. So Dekk pretty far ahead in the piece sequence here. Oh, is Dekk a member of Kingsman's Fave 5? The Fave 5 is the thing that Kingsman does where he sees all the good players playing that are good and everybody knows are good, and then he puts them in his quote Fave 5 and says he's like some scout of Tetris talent, but meanwhile everybody knows are good. Like 540 Dekk is disavowed. He says, no, I'm no good. Well, your presence in Mega Masters here getting a 1 round bye would tend to contradict that. 565 for Pkric, 475 for Dekk. Pkric into level 20. Dekk still on 19. Tetris for Pkric. Still about 11 lines ahead. And 96,000 points ahead. There's a Tetris for Dekk. Tetris Pkric 671. The winner of this match will play Allenbot later in the month. So you better be flexible to schedule if you want to play with Singapore. $634 for Dekk, $738 for Pkric. All right, dirty triple there for Pkric as he's looking to knock this stack back down. 758, 748 for Dekk. About 7 lines apart now. Now remember, we start on 18. There are 130 lines of that, 100 lines of 19 speed, which are on right now. And at 230 lines, the speed is going to double, and there'll be 100 more lines available until that level 39 super kill screen, which was added to the game in 2022? Is that when we started it? 2020? I think it was 2023, maybe end of 22, beginning of 23. I mean, I know CTWC added it in 2023 after those epic battles between Eric and Fractal. Certainly wouldn't want to have that again. An exciting, epic battle between two great champions. So yeah, we gotta do away with that. 947 for Dekk, 935 for Pkric. September 2022 is when we added it. That's a good trivia question. 980 Pkric, 981 for Dekk. Pkric with a Tetris and the max out, one line away from that level 29 speed increase. Zempro says Vandy invented line cap because he hated Huff. I know, I'm so sorry. Hatred is a terrible thing, isn't it? All right, there's a skimming Tetris for Pkric into 29. He's at A63. Tetris for Pkric, B01, A23 for Dekk. We'll see what Pkric going to do here. Both of these players, you know, well, Dekk has got a PB of just about 2 million. Pkric with that 1.59. So we're going to get a sense of what they're able to do and what their strategy is going to be on level 29 and beyond. And you can see both of them are kind of in that singling and doubling mode. So I think both of them may be more comfortable there, but also maybe not expecting their opponent to do much. So we'll see. Pkric is going to get a Tetris B64, A70 for Dekk. About 100,000 point lead for Pkric. We'll see. It's kind of a, I don't know, just kind of a who blinks first. And Dekk is setting up center well. Gonna have to burn it down though. Setting up again for it in that center. Covers the well again, and I'm not sure on that left side. Oh no, and that's gonna be a hang for Dekk on the left. That's gonna be a top out at A90. Pkric was in the process of topping out as well, but was way ahead, and Pkric is gonna even up this match at a game apiece. Whew. All right. You know, I'll tell you, I am loving these early rounds as a flat bracket much better than the previous years because we get these much closer games, you know? Love it. All right, let's get these players some new pieces. 3D29B2. 3D29B2. These two would meet in the first round of a classic 64-player bracket. Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, that is true, Liliana, but we wouldn't have gotten there the way that we did. All right, let's go ahead and get these players started. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 in 3-2-1 Tetris. But yeah, the round one is the one that is mostly affected by that, unless there is a seed upset. Are you still hoping for the all 7 pieces start thing, or did that happen already? I am still waiting for it, although I haven't been looking for it. So if I missed it, that's my too bad. Yeah, I got to catch it in the wild, you know? I want that perfect 7. Yeah, it was 0.6%. Is what I've been told. You said you would absolutely not miss it. Well, if somebody can prove that I actually, in fact, missed it, don't tell me. I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to get it. It's going to happen. Mr. Brain says, oh, yeah, I think it happened twice so far in this stream. Mr. Brain. Oh, my word. How dare you? 139 for Peak, 161 for Dekk. All right, Jay, I have defaulted in my responsibility to myself to look for that perfect 7 start. I'm ashamed. Do better, Vandy. Do better. All right, Peak with one more row covering the well. He's going to uncover here, looking very well-timed bar. Got a skim here. Long bar gets over. Peak gets the Tetris, knocks the stack back down. 220 for him, 282 for Dekk. Oh, man. I was wrong on the internet. $354 for Dekk, $293 for Peak. Got a lot of Tetris over the next 2 days. Make sure you are following the channel. We are 36 followers away on Twitch from 10,000. So if you're watching right now and you're not following, consider following. We don't get anything, nothing special happens. We don't get any, wooden plaque or anything like that. But it would just be good to see 10,000. I'll never be the world champion. I'll never crash the game. So the only way I can get viewers is by grinding it out, getting followers. And so that means if you're watching, give us a follow. $413 for Peak, $492 for Dekk. You believe I'll get the max? All right. Sometime between now and 2035, it'll probably happen. It's possible. But we'll never see it. It's kind of how there's there's probably aliens, other life forms and other worlds, but we're probably never going to see them, even if it's probably true. Same thing with my max out. I'm probably capable of it. We'll probably never see it. 508 for Peak, 588 for Dekk. Oh yeah, and if you're not following us on YouTube, do that as well. I think we're somewhere in the 13,000s. It would be cool to get to 15,000 by the end of the year. $580 for Peak here on 19, $620 for Dekk. How many players is playing Mega Masters this year? 64 players is playing. All right, Tetris for Peak, 631, 672 for Dekk. So about, let's see, all right, the lines are tied and 36,000 points ahead for Dekk here in game 3. That's one more than 63 players. That's right. And usually a tournament, will have 1 minus the number of players, matches in the tournament because you eliminate everybody but one person. But we're going to have that 64th match because we will do a third place match in Mega Masters this year. I think we might have done it. I mean, we certainly, of course, did it in the double elimination, I guess, by default. The year. Didn't we do double elimination one year? 664 for Pkric, 796 for Dekk. Oh, not 1 minus, but right. Actually, guys, I have made a mistake on the internet again. Oh no, we'll see what Dekk is gonna do here. I like that burn setup, but it's very tricky. All right, Dekk bringing this down row by row. Oh, that Z is going to complicate things, but she's going to get a bar to the left. Got a couple of tucks here, 849. Pkric with a good board. So Pkric might be in a position to close some of the gap here. There's a T-spin that is missed in the middle of the board by Dekk. It's going to delay the down stack here. Pkric gets a Tetris 870, is now in the lead at the same lines. And another Tetris for Pkric. Dekk is still digging. So Dekk had a lead most of this match so far, but now Pkric right as we get to 29. Just 10 lines away from 29, now in a small lead. And that 29 transition, such a critical part of this game. 946 for Pkric, 941 for Dekk. Dekk 1 line away. And that 29 transition is going to take a double. And now we'll see what she can do to try to dig out of this. Both players rolling here, so they've got, theoretical capabilities here to dig out of this. But, oh no, that is going to be a top out for Dekk at 952. Pkric has got the max out on level 30 and goes up 2 games to 1. Yeah, can you believe it? I said something on the internet that was wrong. My God. Even though everybody knew what I meant, it was technically, formulated incorrectly. What was I thinking? That's it. Guys, Mega Masters is over. I'm just going to delete the channel. Love technique, says GG. All right, new pieces players. 41CE48. 41CE48. Oh, Killscreen is in the chat. Welcome, Killscreen. (41CE48). They are on seed. They are ready for game number 4. 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Random stuff of me, LOL. Says, by the way, how many players have gotten the level 40 on Super Killscreen? On CTM, I think it was only Alex, but I think someone did it also on CTL. Maybe somebody else got it on CTM. Did someone else get it on CTM? The one person who can answer for sure is playing in the match right now. All right, there happened one time in CTL. Dekk, just play Tetris. Don't worry about correcting Vandy. We have a whole chat of people to correct me. We don't need the players doing it too. Oh, Dog got to level 50 in Faster Masters? I think that counts. Dog. Oh, she said dog. You haven't heard any Bang Tetris? I don't do that anymore. You know, I was I just kind of stopped saying that because it's just kind of an artificial affectation to just have like a catchphrase after a Tetris. Like, I don't know. It's fun to do it once in a while, but once you do it every time, it's a little kind of why are you doing that? All right, 130 here for Dekk, 107 for Peak. Yeah, it's fun. You know, I've done it a few times just for throwback vibes, but no more bootleg Boom Tetris. There was a time when you couldn't help but say Boom Tetris. Like you would say like, "Oh, Boom Tetris for Dekk, Boom Tetris." Like that was just came to you. There was a time like in this classic Tetris scene, like you just couldn't help saying it. But and I was trying hard not to say it because I don't want to steal someone's personality. That's Chris Tang's, personality. So I tried to stop saying it. There was a time where if I said Boom Tetris, I would have to gift a sub to the, to the chat. But I'm in no danger of saying that. Like, it doesn't even occur to me. 272 for Dekk, 270 for Peak. Dekk is gonna try and uncover this well, and she's gonna do it. Waiting for the bar. And we're going through a little bit of a drought. There's a skim for Dekk, like a little double there. And Boom Tetris for... Oh, wait, I did it. Oh, my God. It's back now. Now I can't stop saying it. Oh, you guys, see what you've done? You ruined me. 300 for Dekk, 276 for Peak. Oh, my word. It's back. I'm ruined. As a caster and really as a man. I'm ruined. My whole sense of myself is just totally ruined. 324 for Peak, 372 for Dekk. All right, Tetris for Dekk, 396, 370 for Peak as we approach 100 lines in game number 4. There's a Tetris for Dekk, 419. Pretty reasonable tournament pace. If you were going gangbusters, you get about 100,000 for every 20 lines, but 100,000 every 25 lines, still pretty good. Tetris Dekk 442. There's another one, 465. All right. Pete gets the tuck of the T to get Tetris ready, but no great place for that Z. So ends up having to cover the well. And there's a skimming at Tetris for Peak. Vandy, what do you think is the craziest dig you've ever seen? God. That's a good question. I gotta make a list. I've got to make a list. But I can tell you the craziest dig that I've seen in the last few days is that like Dan V and his match, was it yesterday? At a pretty crazy dig worth checking out. If you want to check out the live stream, still up on YouTube. 587 for Dekk, 513 for Peak. Tetris Dekk 616, 538 for Peak. Dekk needs to win this one to stay in the tournament and have a shot at defending her top 32 seeding. Tetris for Peak 569, 619 for Dekk. Vandy, did you see my dig at Genesis? I have not watched any of the Genesis stuff, really. I only tuned in for a couple minutes, so I'll have to check it out. Who is it against, Knight? 579 for Peak, 655 for Dekk. Yeah, the Dan V dig. That was good. Red shirt? All right, I'll check it out. Tetris Peak 662. Dekk 748. So Dekk is ahead in lines by 10 lines, ahead in score by about 56,000. It's about a Tetris and, you know, maybe about 2 Tetrises here, a little less than 2 Tetrises. Board getting kind of high here for Dekk, though. Long bar gets over. That's going to help bring that stack back down. All right, nice triple for Dekk. Now looking for a bar for the left. Gets it. Now one for the right. Looking for that, and there it is. So Dekk's board back down to safety. 826, 735 for Peak. Dekk's going to use the bar to fill in that left side. And the next one to get to Tetris. 863, level 26 for Dekk. Peak 799, level 25. Dekk is ahead by about 16, well, at that time, when I started that sentence, about 16 lines. That's a problem here, you know, when you're commentating Tetris, is you start a sentence and everything's changed, right? By the time you get to the end of the, you know, you start at the capital letter and get to the period, the situation has changed. 874 for Peak. There's a Tetris 907, 970 for Dekk. Yeah, I should ask them to slow down. Guys, could you slow down a little bit? That would really help me out. All right, we are just about into level 29. Dekk is in, gets a Tetris right after entry into 29 and another one. A53 for Dekk, 978 for Peak. 8 lines away still. Has the max out on 28. Dekk got hers on 29. So Peak will be ahead at the time of the 29 entry. B05 here for Dekk. Going to take that triple on the right side. So you see what Dekk's going to do. She's ahead by 100,000 points. And, oh no, that S is going to be a hang. Okay, the top out at B24. The target for Peak is, oh no, is not really going to be relevant because Peak is topping out at A66. And Dekk will survive in game number 4 and force the deciding game number 5. The decider. The de-icer? The de-icer is here. You can drink de-cider, don't drink de-icer. That would be a bad idea. All right, new pieces, players. Here they are. C1, B5, 1C. C1, B5, 1C. Should I delete these things or what? All right, I probably should just delete them. I'll keep them. Who knows? You don't know when there's going to be another fire. All right, and I guess the D goes right here. By default, if you got a D in your name, you get the decider over there. No, the seeds are wrong. Dekk, you have the seeds wrong. It should be C1 5B. So the score, the seed checker, victory. Victory for the seed checker. I would love a metric of how many hours I've saved with the seed checker, like checking it, the time checking it and being right, and whatever. Okay, looks like both players are ready. This is a decider. Both players are at 2 games. The first to 3 wins. So let's get them started in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Jolo. Jolo. Or if you pronounce the J like a Y, then it's YOLO. Several seconds have been saved on balance. I think we are overall saving time because you have to factor in, oh, there's the Vits for Dekk. Look at that. And the Tetris. You have to factor in the times when I look at it and everything's fine. Right? I think we're ahead. I think we're ahead for the seed checker. Yeah, if the seeds are wrong, you can waste a lot of time. And we seem to catch one, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 a month, I think. Not to mention that I think you also have to factor in some kind of utility function in terms of like the players getting a little bit demoralized or thrown off because the game didn't count that they were playing. And so even if it's not like saving time on balance, there's other benefits. 125 for Pkric, 160 for Dekk. There's the Tetris Pkric. Oh, and there's also just the pleasure of catching the players, doing it wrong, and just like there's just a certain level of enjoyment. So you got to count the hedons from that in your utilitarian calculation. All right, Tetris for Pkric. And another one, 220 for him, 257 for Dekk. Oh, that left side for Dekk could be a problem, but she's going to uncover the well. Would love a quick bar right now. All right, still has a burn. All right, now that left side should still be accessible. So crisis averted from Dekk, and the board gets back very quickly to a good state with a couple of long bars. 294 for Dekk, 227 for Pkric. Vandy, can you tell the story on how the decider bottle was born? I don't even really fully remember. I know someone in chat probably had the idea of it like being like cider, and then I just made then I was like, oh, that's funny. So then I made an emote of it, and it was a really janky emote because I just found like the worst stock footage and clip art and combined it. And then eventually when I wanted to put it on merch or something, or make a high-res emote of it, I actually went and bought good stock footage and really good high-res clip art of it. So I had to recreate it. It's so stupid. 326 for Peak, 410 for Dekk. Thought it was a Bidwell thing? No, it has nothing to do with Bidwell. It's not a good story. I mean, someone asked. And it's level 18, so I got to fill time. There's a Tetris Peak, 380, 463 for Dekk. All right, not a good setup on the board there for Peak. Had multiple LJ dependencies and no good place for a square. So I ended up having a pile like Z's and squares over on the right. Still 5 rows of garbage over the well. It's probably somewhere, you know, our first use of it is probably in the archive somewhere. I don't know exactly what month it was, but it probably predates most of you in chat. In all frankness. Tetris Peak 418, about 577 for Dekk, 160,000 points ahead. Just about the same line count as we approach 19. There's a Tetris for Dekk with the 601, and this is a good time to pull out that 600K transition. There's another one for Dekk, 625 into 19. Peak is going to transition in with a double at 445, so about 180,000 points behind Peak. All right, flat long bar burn Dekk. So a lot of Tetris to be played. All right, there's a Tetris for Peak, and this does give Dekk a few options just in having to, you know, if you've got a marginal decision, do I try to build or do I just take the burn? Like every once in a while with a lead like this, which is now about 240 and growing, or 140 and growing, sorry, 140 and growing. You can, you know, kind of take the more conservative of the sort of margin decisions at the margin. There's a Tetris Dekk, 757. And Tetris for Peak, 644. All right, Dekk being very careful not to spire that middle and high center. Long bar Tetris Peak, 676, 846 for Dekk. Dekk really just motoring along. Their Tetris Peak, 736, 876 for Dekk. So still about that 140,000 point lead for Dekk. So they've been keeping pace with one another the last few levels. 40 lines to go until the 29 transition. The speed will double. Tetris Dekk, 944, 772 for Peak. Other Tetris Peak. Same line count, and it's about 140,000 point lead. So still keeping pace. Neither player really able to get any traction on just getting further ahead or you know, or whatever. There's a Tetris Dekk, A13. That's a max out on 27. And Peak now with a little bit of a slowdown. This is allowing Dekk to extend that lead a bit. There's a Tetris Peak, 880. He's got a covered like hole there in the board. Being careful not to cover it again. All right, some burns here for Peak, but he's got a good board. Here's we approach level 29. There's a Tetris for Peak, 924, but Dekk at B24. And basically a 600 pre and about a 500K post. Pretty good Peak's board a little bit high here. Gets a Tetris on 29 at 963, but the middle of that board is a problem. And that is going to be a top out for Peak at 964, and Dekk is going to hang on. She was behind in this match and came back and won 2 games in a row to take this match. GG's to you, Peak. You did amazing. Tough opponent. And Dekk certainly seems to be a player on the rise. All right, so Peak is pumped. Rocking the pajama bottoms, pumping her fist, excited. Thumbs up. All right, GG's Dekk. What are those? Perfect. Garfield pajama bottoms. All right, so GG's Dekk. You will be moving on. And again, GG's to you, Peak. Amazing. Hope to see you again subsequent months, both in Masters and in Das Masters. Okay, let's go ahead and report the results of this. We'll show you where this leaves our tournaments. Let's see. Dekk 3, Peak 2. The only unfortunate part of that is, well, is that I can no longer say this is what Peak Tetris looks like, which is sad. All right, GG's to you, Dekk. You will have the pleasure of playing Allenbot, our 6th seed, later in the month. So hopefully you've got some scheduling flexibility. God, I hope so. All right. We're going to show you what everything looks like. Yes, let's go ahead and refresh this. Where is that? Bracket quadrant 4. Oh boy, I have to refresh. There we go. All right. We got it. So we're looking at that 3rd row there. What happened today is that Peak beat Allejo. Dekk beat Peak. And now Allenbot takes on Dekk. And, I don't know. This one could be closer than the seeds would make it appear. We'll see how that goes. All right. Where does that leave our top 32 situation? Well, you can see Dekk is into the top 32. We've got 2 results now in the pink bracket and in the olive bracket. Not the orange bracket, Vandy, the olive bracket. All right, we're going to take a look at our schedule. What is coming up tomorrow? I have to up. There's one little mistake on here with the players for the red, but this is basically what's happening. Tomorrow we have got 3 streams. An 8 a.m. one. I got to get up in 11 hours from now to make this one happen. That's going to be Maisie Poyo and Chef O in the violet bracket. That's 8 a.m. Texas time, 1300 UTC. Green is going to be happening at 4 p.m. Central Texas time, 21 UTC. That's Bland, Salted Sofa, and Tugi. Looking forward to that. Then Das Masters will conclude at 6 p.m. That is going to be a banger. Dog, Fractal, AV Geek, and Tommy NTG in the finals of Das Masters. Then Wednesday, we're going to have Mint Bracket, Winter Jerpy, Pixelandy, Nestris.org launch showcase. It's going to be Vandy plus Primer, who's known as Ansel before, but now known as Primer. And then it'll be the red bracket, and I have that wrong there. It's Nolan, Rhubarb, and Id Kirby. And then not pictured is one right after that. It's going to be the sky bracket right after red. And that's going to be Dylan, Dylan Armstrong, not Dylan answered a question. Jordan and Eyeball in the sky bracket. So we got we have 7 streams between now and 48 basically hours from now. Lots of Tetris. And it's all me. I'm streaming it all for you guys. So no days off. No days off, like my hero Bill Belichick said. All right. That is the schedule. We've showed you where the brackets look like. Let's make sure we thank some of the people who supported the channel. Scott Gray, are you... Oh my God, Scott Gray. Scott Gray just put $10,000 into the prize pool. Oh my word. Oh my God. That is unbelievable. Scott Gray, that is absolutely insane. Thank you so much for your support. Folks, we got a real tournament now. Now it's worth playing. Y'all were wondering, oh, we're going to play this $200 prize pool, whatever. Now it's worth playing, guys. We got ourselves a ball game. Thanks to Scott Gray. That is utterly amazing. Your support throughout the years has been amazing for the Classic Tetris community. We would not be where we are without you, Scott. So thank you so very much. I cannot thank you enough. And yet at some point I will have to end the stream, but I want to keep thanking you for hours, and no amount of thank you or words from me can express my gratitude for that. So thank you so much, Scott Gray. We'll have to update this slide because we are now paying the top 16. We have beat 2022 Mega Masters. Scott has done his part, more than his part, that's for sure. And so now the next target is going to be if we can beat 2023 Mega Masters and pay the top 32. So thank you again, Scott. That is utterly amazing. I want to thank those of you who also contributed to the prize pool of this stream. K. Schnur, thank you so much with the broccoli. Our Borrow contributed. Join Tetris for the non-pros at tnp.tetris.lol. All the claim codes are done. Scott Gray didn't get a chance to do a claim code. My God, Scott, you're really lagging there, buddy. You got to get in earlier and do that claim code. But no, we got them all done. 50 codes have been done. So thank you, everybody, for doing that. Really appreciate it. And I think those are the contributions we had this stream, but that was a lot. Also, Agathis contributed 200 overnight. So thank you so much, Agathis. Very, very generous. Really appreciate that. Okay. Also want to thank those of you who supported the stream. Where's my little credits here? Is it this? I got credits that roll. Is it that? No, that's merch. CTM.WTF, by the way. Is it this? No, that's FlexStyle, but thanks, flexstyle.bandcamp.com. That's CTWC Mexico. Oh, no, it's this. Here it is. Thank you so very much again, Scott Gray. I mean, that's amazing. Anyway, thanks to those of you who also contributed to the stream, including new follower Chris Laser, YouTube followers Jab Pinoys, Alberto, Amory, Betamax, subs on Twitch, Guafi, Doc Pie, Overthief, and Amit. Super chats on YouTube, LVCCX, Jose B, and Lautaro T. Thank you so much for your support. Also want to thank those of you who contributed merch giveaways to Twitch. I don't know who did it, but you can't trust the names on there anymore. So you know who you are, and I thank you. And you're amazing. Okay. Yeah, I also want to thank our patrons, including our sticker and double sticker club level members, community level members, as well as our honorary double sticker club level member, Summer B. Thank you so much, Summer. Also, our Mega Masters level supporter, Scott Gray, J in the window, K9, watching Tetris, Tacnerus, our Masters level supporter, Corporal 381, shall be satisfied in our bracket sponsor level supporters, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, CatKit 91, and McMonkey. Yeah, I'm just blown away by the support for you guys. Thank you so very much. And yeah, we have a lot of Tetris over the next couple days. And again, thank you for all of you for making it happen. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss YouTube. You are dismissed. See you tomorrow morning. I guess see you in 11 hours. Take care and bye-bye. I should probably open the one on CT2, but I'm just going to hope it ends on its own. Okay.